some new and disturbing details regarding Sean Diddy Combs. Another woman is alleging that she was drugged and raped by the music mogul. Her attorney is Gloria Allred. Her name is Thalia Graves. She alleges that the violent 2001 sexual assault was recorded and then shown to others.
The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing.
The details of this new lawsuit sound eerily similar to some of the federal charges that now have the music mogul locked up and awaiting trial. Former prosecutor Mary David joins me now to talk about the bigger issues having to do with Sean Diddy Combs. Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. Let's talk broadly. If he makes a plea deal and this thing doesn't go to trial, are all the names, all of his friends, all the rest of it, all the videotape, all the evidence, does that basically never get seen?
Well, practically speaking, Diddy is not going to take a plea in this case.
Okay.
He has already come out very strongly at his bond hearing. He was so adamant to say that he was entering that plea of not guilty. His attorneys have come out and said that he is a fighter. He's going to fight these charges, which is interesting wording given the assault video that has come out and these very violent charges. But it does not seem likely at all that he would accept a plea. He is so strongly convinced to tell the public that he is innocent.
But if he did accept a plea, does that evidence get stayed behind closed doors?
Well, it's important to remember that this is the federal investigation, but there are also state charges that could come up as well. And it also really depends on what evidence there is available. There were over 300 grand jury subpoenas. So there is a lot of evidence that we don't even know about yet that is yet to come out.
So we know Diddy has a whole lot of famous friends. We know a lot of them attended his parties. We're not going to mention who, and we don't know what they were involved with, if it was illegal, not illegal, all the rest of it. But if they did, if they attended these parties and there was illegal stuff happening in this, could other people be brought down by this?
This really is why we need to know what was on those tapes that came out from the raid at Diddy's property, as well as any text messages or other communications, because any evidence that comes forth needs to be corroborated. So anything that can support the prosecutor's allegations could come out. Now, it would also depend on were the people at these parties, how much did they actually know, and what other witnesses are willing to come out and support any allegations against them.
So would simply being at a party where illicit activity was happening, is that a crime?
It all really depends. I mean, simply having knowledge of something, they're typically for criminal offenses, especially at the level that we're talking about. There has to be some sort of intent, but that's not in all cases. And it's important to know that this case really focuses on racketeering. So that is enforcing a criminal enterprise. So Diddy is really the focus of that enterprise.
What they're alleging is that he did all of this on tape, as you mentioned. So theoretically, all of this would be right in front of everybody's eyes, right? A jury could watch this video and you would see him committing this crime, theoretically. If that's really the case, isn't that kind of open shut? Like, what's his defense?
Well, so the defense is going to be that there was consent in a lot of these instances, that what happens behind closed doors and people's personal choices, even if that's not how we choose to live our lives, is not necessarily a crime. They are also going to go hard after the idea that this was a criminal enterprise within the context of what RICO is really seeking to criminalize, which is this whole racketeering enterprise.
And last question real quickly. If you're one of Diddy's high-profile friends watching this and you attended some of these parties and you kind of knew what was going on and didn't say anything, should you be feeling nervous tonight?
I think there are a lot of people who are very, very nervous because of what could be out there, anything that could be out there, and not only from the standpoint of criminal charges, but also any fallout, particularly if they're in entertainment and they are just seeking to really distance themselves from Diddy and all of this.